This is Straight Talk with Atlanta native Greg Fann, the preacher man, and his sidekick Shanan Jones. Frank discussions of issues affecting the ATL, Fulton County, the state of Georgia, the nation, and around the world. And now, here they are, live and in living color, the team of Jones and Fann, the preacher man.
Well, welcome today to another edition of Straight Talk with yours truly, Greg Fann, the preacher man, and Shanan E. Jones. As you can see, we're doing stuff a little different now. Shanan is now a father, and he is baby watching his newborn baby. And he'll be joining us in just a little bit. But our program today, we ask that you continue to watch us, subscribe to our channel, like us. If you have comments, make your comments. And if you'd like to be a guest, we'd love to have you. All you have to do is go out to Straight Talk News 1362 at gmail.com. That's Straight Talk News 1362 at gmail.com. If you have news or information that you want to share, just send it to Miss C at that same address. That's Straight Talk News 1362 at gmail.com. There's so much going on in the world today, so much going on in the city of Atlanta. We have made national news about what they're calling Cop City, which is a training facility, should be a training facility for police officers and people that are firefighters, correctional officers, training them in terms of what their job is and how to do their job effectively. Well, Shanan and I'll be back to talk a little bit more about it right here on Straight Talk. So don't you go nowhere. We'll see you on the other side after Miss C. Oh, well, we're going to be talking about some other things too. Okay?
Hi, Miss C here with your 3-minute news blast or more. Hey, Greg. Hey, Shanan. How y'all doing? Good to see you, I guess. Y'all over there? Anyway, join the Prayer Warriors Outreach weekly prayer call every Monday at 7:30 p.m. You can join virtually on Facebook Live at Prayer Warriors Outreach, or you can call in 978-990-5364, and the access code is 819972#. Don't leave off that pound now. There will be a gospel brunch in support of Dr. Jeffrey Cooper Jr. for Bishop. Dr. Jeffrey Cooper Sr. for Bishop in 2024 on March 25th from noon to 2:30 p.m. at Turner Chapel AME Church, 492 North Marietta Parkway in Marietta. For more details, visit the website www.thecooperexperience.org. Antioch AME at 8765 South Harrison Road in Stone Mountain welcomes you to their 2023 Women's History Month worship celebration on Sunday, March 26 at 10 a.m. with guest speaker, distinguished author Dr. Paula Giddings. Reverend Vandy C. Simmons is pastor. Listen, I'd like for you to do 4 things for me. I would like for you to like us. I'd like for you to subscribe to us. Leave comments. Please let us know how we're doing. And also share us. Don't hide us. Let everybody know about Straight Talk News and Miss C, of course. And listen, you can also, if you'd like for us to announce your event, you can email it to us at Straight Talk News, and be sure to put all the letters in there. Spell it all out. Straight Talk News 1362 at gmail.com. You'll be so glad you did. And listen, until next time and in between time, may the Lord God bless you and you and you and you real good. Bye now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got Papa with us now. What's happening, Big Papa?
Hey, nothing much, and everything at the same time. How you doing, Bishop?
I'm doing fine, and congratulations.
Say I love it when they call me Big Papa.
And congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Your son.
Now send me some coffee.
Now I'm going to send you some Pampers.
All right.
Shanan, we're dealing with some terrible times it look like since Atlanta has grown and is growing, and like everybody want to come here with a whole lot of foolishness. And you know, Atlanta is known for the city of civil disobedience, and where when we demonstrate in a respectful way to get our point across. And sometimes we get what we desire, and then sometimes we don't. But however, we do it in a peaceful way, right? And what we're seeing now, and as I shared with them at the beginning, is we're going to be talking about what's happening with the training center. They call it Cop City, but I'm calling it the training center, what it's designed to be. And here we have people coming into our city from all over the country, all over the world pretty much, and trying to stop us from having a facility that would train officers to do their jobs and do their job better. So that's my spin on it, and I'm gonna let you take it from there, and you can give your spin on it.
Yeah, I think you said it. We have a rich legacy of protests here, especially in Atlanta, the home of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a martyr of peace, and a man of protest. But he didn't protest just to protest. He had an agenda, and there were those that marched with him that had an agenda, and that agenda was always peaceful. Dr. King was very matter of fact. In fact, Taylor Branch in his book, I believe it was Parting the Waters, it might have been the one right after, but I think it was Parting the Waters. He talked about the 1966 year. Dr. King went out to Watts, and he engaged with the Black Power movement brothers and sisters, and they didn't want to hear his nonviolence. They wanted it to burn, baby, burn. And Dr. King was attempting to get them to see, as he had gotten young folks to see through the 13 years of his movement, that we cannot return evil for evil. Basically, that we couldn't live in the place of our flesh, but that our spirits had to yearn for the glory of God to come to us through not only spiritual justification, but the legal justification that the Constitution stated that we should have as those who were under the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments. And so we do this by peaceful protest. We stand for peaceful protest. Now, when it comes to the center, you've got these anarchists that have come from out of this state. They are those that embrace an ideology that is anti-God, anti-personal property, anti-government, really the type of established community that many of us have come to know as our norm. And they don't pay any taxes in Georgia. And if you go back to where they come from, you'll find that they don't pay any taxes there either. These are people that want to deconstruct and not to construct. This Justice Center will be constructed to build a new construct in terms of how police are trained and how they are established as those who serve and protect the community. How do you know that, Reverend? Because in our calling for this peaceful protest to return, for these anarchists, these anti-government, anti-personal property, people to be exposed and to be brought outside of our movement. As we call for that, we're calling and we're concerned about what's happening on the inside of this. Just what is the ideology? What will the training be? What will the culture of policing be? And how can we construct a bridge between law enforcement and community? So that's what we need to be concerned about. And you step over. They weren't there when we were out crying about a 12-year-old and a 15-year-old and a 13-year-old being shot. We didn't see all these people. They're out now stepping over the bodies of our children that are dying in the streets of Atlanta and throughout the state of Georgia. And they want us to not be concerned. We don't see them when we're out talking about that issue. But they want us to come stand with the tree. Well, the mayor said, any tree that goes down, he's going to put 10 for every one that goes down. And I Bishop Fann, in my conclusion, I know the value of a tree because I live in a wooden house. But I'm going to tell you something. This house and the trees that built it are not more valuable than the imago Dei, than the person that was created in the image, the likeness of God, whether they know it or not. And that's what we have to stand for. And we have to serve and protect communities, citizens, people. And that's what we're standing for on tomorrow. And we're hoping that we're hoping that many clergy will stand with us, not on tomorrow, but many people will see this. So it'll be today that we actually did, and many people will be standing with us, who stood with us today, and will stand with us ongoing as we continue to expose these people who just want to destroy our society as well.
You know, Shannon, you said a lot there. You said a lot, but the basics of it is we have to have law enforcement. We don't want to be a lawless society. That's just cut through the chase. We don't want to be a lawless society where people carrying guns, shooting folks down. There's no retribution or consequences for their action because we don't have law enforcement officers to enforce the law of the land. That's why what law enforcement, that's what, if we go back to the Bible, we have gods. They had gods. They had Roman gods, Roman soldiers who were they were the police. They enforced the law, the Roman law. They enforced the law of the land. They were enforcers. So police officers and enforcers of the law. And it's not only, that facility's not only being built for police officers or law enforcement people, it's being built for firefighters too. I mean, people have homes, and that's your most valuable asset is your home. You want to know that people who are coming to your house, because if there's a fire, a structure fire, electric fire, whatever the fire may be, that there are people who are trained to know how to put out a fire and save your home. So your home won't be destroyed and burned down. I mean, these are real things. People are talking about other things, but let's talk about the real things that we're looking for. We're talking about public safety as a whole. We're talking about correctional officers being trained. We're talking about people being evaluated based on their psychological ability to even be in the job, first of all. Because I think that's been a missing link, because we've hired some people who was psychologically not fit or equipped to do the job. I mean, if you look at some of those officers who have done those things, both black and white and Asian and others who took those jobs, they took those jobs because of the salary. But they didn't take those jobs because they were equipped mentally to do those jobs, because it was about serve and protect. They used the badge to do other things. So we agree with many people that are in law enforcement should not be in law enforcement. We agree with that. But we do not want to do away with the police officers, and we want to make sure that those people who put on that badge and gun, and those people who put on that fire equipment, and those people who are working in correction institutions are fully trained to do the job and equipped to do the job, both mentally, both physically, and emotionally, that they're equipped to do those jobs, because those jobs are not for everyone. Everyone is not equipped for those jobs, right? So that's I think the facility, and when we look at that facility, Key Road was a prison for many, many years, right? The farm was there. It was a prison farm. It's been there many, many years. And people are saying, well, it's about, the trees. It's about this, about that. All those things they're saying it's about. Well, okay, I'm an environmentalist too. I believe in environment. I believe in saving trees. But let me share this with you. Trees Atlanta, which is a umbrella of the city of Atlanta, they plant trees all the time. When you take out trees, even if a business or somebody want to clear cut something, if they take out trees, they got to put back more trees than they took out. And Trees Atlanta do that. So I mean, that's a given. That's a given. So I mean, some of the excuses they're making about the trees and this and that, I mean, hey, listen. There are going to be trees replaced, and there's going to be more trees replaced than the trees that are taken out. So, I mean, we have to look at really what it is. It's people who really don't want to see law enforcement that want to see us as a lawless society, and we cannot live in a society where we don't have trained police officers, where we don't have trained firefighters, where we don't have trained correction officers, people who are in public safety that supposed to be there to protect and to serve. So Shanan, that's where I am. That's my 2 cents on it, and that's where I am. And of course, my wife was in law enforcement from her career, from young lady all the way till she retired. Worked for the FBI, worked for Cook County Police. Joliet, in Joliet, Cook County. She worked in Fulton County as a correction officer. She worked at Fulton County as a deputy sheriff. She's been in law enforcement pretty much all her adult life. So I'm definitely for us having officers. I'm definitely having officers that are trained and that are equipped to do the job. Bad officers, yes, we need to get rid of. Bad firefighters, we need to get rid of. Bad correction officers, we need to get rid of. But we can't throw out the baby with the water. We can't.
That's it. That's it. I mean, you said it. You said it. I mean, I don't appreciate bad police. I don't appreciate, as you said, bad fire. I don't like bad judges. Guess what? I don't appreciate bad preachers.
Right.
All right? I mean, and we got them. I mean, I don't like bad singers. I don't like going to church. I don't appreciate it. but we can't throw the baby out and say, because one person can't sing, that choir can't sing. Right. Or because one police officer bad, that church. Or because one preacher ain't good, that church ain't no good. No, come on. We just have to find the bad actors. And we have to root them out. And building a bridge between community and police where we have some say-so as to what goes on. And we get to go in the center and find out, let's look through what police see. How do they see? Because if you told me and Fann, Bishop Fann, we got to get in the car and go patrol the bluff tonight, I mean, goodness gracious, we would come up against all kind of fractions. And I can't tell you what I might do to make sure I get home to my wife and son. I don't know what I might do if I'm dealing with some crazy folk out here having to deal with them. I might just have to do something that I would have to repent for. But I'm going to make it home. I'm going to serve and I'm going to protect. I'm going to protect you. I'm going to protect myself too. So, it's a way that we need to look at this from their optic and root out the bad. And let's get back to it. I told the chief that, I said Officer Friendly used to come by, and I knew Officer Friendly. He knew me in our community. And I said, I want to meet. We need to get back to that, where we can deconstruct the fear and phobia that's there among police and among community. Build a bridge of hope together. That's what I want. I'm more concerned about what happens in the center versus whether or not it needs to be because of government.
Shanan, I'm getting some feedback from your end. Somebody must be calling in.
Someone might be doing that, but that's so funny because I put it on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, somebody must be calling in.
But some folk, they're just so busy wanting to disturb that even the phone system can't.
but back to your point of Officer Friendly and those people who are a part of the community being a part of police officers, because most officers, not all of our officers, come out of our community. They have families. They go to our church. They do. They shop at our same grocery store. I mean, they're in the community. They're human beings with families and a life. So let us understand that the whole thing that we see today is nothing, in my estimation, because it's made national news. It's a fiasco to give some people who not from Atlanta, some people who've never been engaged in Atlanta, social justice or anything in Atlanta, and the outside hecklers that are coming into our city, they're trying to put our city in a bad light as it relates to public safety and this facility. So, Shanan, let's change the subject just for a minute.
Sure. Hold on. They're calling again.
They calling you, Shanan. They want you. They want to make sure. They want to make sure that they get you. They want to make sure that they get you.
So, yeah. Okay, so it's got me on Do Not Disturb, but I guess on this vMix it won't do it. So I don't know.
Okay. All
But
right.
anyway, I'll
Well,
stop it.
yeah, just stop it. But anyway, Shannon, everybody's trying to get to Shannon. He's got a new baby and everything. People want to know how the baby is doing. How is he doing with the baby? How is his
That's what they
wife
want
doing?
to know. It makes
Yeah.
sure I'm doing right and I ain't messing up. That I can get more advice. The pediatrician told me today, you're gonna get a whole lot of advice. Ask people, decade did you get your advice from? Because some folk are telling you do this from 50 years ago, and it was right 50 years ago, but
But it
that's
ain't
not how we do it today.
right.
So,
Well, I'm not gonna tell you how to do it because mine probably was 50 years ago. My oldest is how
somebody
to do
told me
it
that day,
50
all
years.
you need to do is get a baby some carnation milk. You don't need to go. That's what they fed me back in the Westwood. Their mama gave us that back in the 40s.
Carnation and pet milk. All right.
And we got
but
that.
but
We got that, and we made sure we got our polio shots all at the same time.
well, like you say, it's a new day.
New
And
day.
again, congratulations on
Thank you, sir.
you and your son and your wife. I know you guys are going through this period of getting used to having a little one in the house with you. But I want to thank you for just coming on the program tonight, to just share your
Oh,
views and opinion. But I do want to talk about something that I think that is very important. Is as we look at the national politics and we look again local politics, our all politics is local. All politics is local. And people emphasize more on national politics than they do local politics, right? Because your local elected officials are the one that you can see and deal with on a regular basis. National people, you have to go through this and go through that. And even many times with a local official, you have to go through this and you have to go through that. As we're looking at the way things are happening now under the Demon Dome, and they shut down Buckhead becoming a city. They voted down, right? And then they came back and they said, well, we're going to put X amount of dollars, and what we're going to do now is we're going to build a complex in Buckhead to house state patrolmen in Buckhead. Now, you don't hear an outcry about that. The millions of dollars they want to be able to put 20 officers in Buckhead to work with the Atlanta police officers in the Buckhead community, the Buckhead community. We don't hear a great outcry about that. But I would say this. I don't know if other people have noticed this, but there are more state patrols in the city of Atlanta proper now policing the city of Atlanta. People may not be noticing it, may not be paying them attention, but they're slowly, the governor has, in his own way, has made sure that the police, and he said that he was going to do that, but they did it in a subtle way. But every time you turn around and you can see police officers, especially on those roads like Metropolitan, which is a highway, state highway, and those roads that run through cities, Highway 29, which is a state highway, Roosevelt Highway, that's a highway. Those roads that are really state roads, you're seeing more police officers, state officers in the city of Atlanta proper. So I want to talk about that just a little bit, Shannon, before we close out, and get your opinion about what's going on with state patrolmen and policing in the city of Atlanta and Buckhead in particular.
well, one of the things that this is one of the things that I really want to talk to the governor about if and when we do have our meeting with the clergy and the governor, because I've seen we talk about over policing, but I have seen the Georgia State Patrol ration up their patrols, and as you said, on these state highways. I've seen them on Metropolitan. I was driving maybe 4 or 5 months ago, about 4 or 5 months ago, and they went up the off ramp, the Cleveland Avenue off ramp on the 85 north side. They went up the off ramp to stop a car, hit a car coming off that they were following. I caught the gentleman running into the woods with literally damaged, destroyed a couple cars and hit another car. I was on Roosevelt Highway getting gas one day, and they chased someone, and the car flipped over and hit another car. And so that, I do have concerns, Gestapo G-men techniques that perhaps the governor um, has emboldened the Georgia State Patrol to do. We talked just a few minutes ago about the culture and the ideology, mindset, curriculum of police. It just wonders what is the mindset of unleashing. Not saying that we don't need strong presence, but we don't need what I would deem to be unconstitutional, immoral, unjust kind of patrolling in community, as we're seeing with the state patrol. With that said, I think it's a clear-cut issue. I had a principal, Dr. Vivian Benton at the Excelsior School, who would say to us that the squeaky wheel, gets the oil. Squeaky wheel gets the oil. In a society, in a democracy, the vote community gets the oil. What's the oil? It's the resources. It's the tabletops. It's the clean community living. It's the live, work, play that we go into other communities and spend our money in, as opposed to keeping those dollars in our own community. When you don't vote, you don't get. And people will say, well, that's racism. And there might be some racism in it. I'm not saying it. I hear the argument that we got to go to Buck. We're gonna put the police, this center or command post there in Buckhead and not in Bankhead. I get it. I hear it. We also look at what the tax base to the city is, and Buckhead is about 42 to 45%, I believe, of the Atlanta tax base. Bankhead is not. So then when you talk about not pooling resources, not having the money there in community, and then not having the votes too, then that's shaky math. And eventually the outcome will be that you won't get the oil. And I think that's a telltale sign of what we're looking at here, if we take it out of the discussion of race, because everything can't be about race. Some things we just got to look at pragmatically.
Well, one of the things I want to say as we get ready to close out, this is my final comment on this, and you hit it. When
I'm sorry, you're a little low, Bishop. I heard you say one of the things, and then you went low.
I want to say finally, one of the things that I do want to say is, Shannon, as we get ready to close, is that you hit the nail dead on the head. If you don't vote, and you don't vote regularly and often, people look at that when they're running for office. The areas that get attention are those areas that vote. People complain about lights. They complain about this. They complain about that. And why this neighborhood get this and that neighborhood don't get it is people don't vote. There are some that do, but not nearly enough to make a difference in those communities, right? People say, well, white folks move in, they do this and they do that. Well, they vote. So I'm just keeping the record straight and keeping this straight talk. They vote. They do vote. We'll sit at home and acquiesce and talk about, well, they're going to do what they want to do anyway. So I ain't going to vote. I'm not going to vote. And then if I vote, they ain't going to do nothing no way. So you ought to do nothing because you ain't getting up to go vote. So you can't complain about anything. You have no right to complain because you didn't do nothing yourself. So you can't expect them to do something when you didn't do nothing yourself. So if you don't vote, and you heard this a whole lot of time, you don't count. If you don't vote, you don't matter. If you don't vote, voting is very important, and that's in every municipal, county, city, state election. Every one of them. Every one of them. You got to make sure you vote for those people that are close to the ground for you, to you. When I say municipal, that's for municipal races. That's for city races. That's for those positions that affect you in your cities. Because that's why everybody's trying to create their own city now, because they want to get government close to them. Republicans talked about we don't want less government, but look at what the Republicans are doing now. They creating more government, more government. So let's just see it for what it is. And I want to thank you, Shanan, for just sharing this today with me here on Straight Talk. And again, I congratulate you and Katia, your wife, on Samuel Eugene Jones. And I got the Pampers coming. I'm telling you now, I got the Pampers coming. I can't do anything but Pampers.
Hurry up now, hurry up. I'm gonna be using newspaper in a minute. I'm gonna be using newspaper.
I hope not. Well, thank you, my friend. Hey, listen, you ain't been
Thank
doing
you,
nothing
Bishop.
but what?
Straight
Talk.
Talk.
Until next week, if you want to be a guest, all you got to do is to go out to Straight Talk News at 1362 at gmail.com. You want to put on, you're on the program, just let Miss C know. And she'll get you on. If you got news and information, give it to Miss C and we'll get it on. And may God bless you and heaven smile upon you. And as always, we love you and ain't nothing you can do about it.
Want to be a guest on Straight Talk? Email Greg Fann at FANN922 at Comcast.net or call 404-308-0795. Join us again for another episode of Straight Talk with Shanan Jones and Greg Fann, the Preacher Man.